On April 20, 2026, oil jumped and U.S. stocks finally gave back a little of their record run. The S&P 500 closed at 7,109.14, down 16.92 points, while Brent crude settled at $95.48, up 5.6%. That was the cleanest macro snapshot of the day. The first important point is that the pullback stayed small. The S&P 500 remained above where it traded before the war began. So this was not a market pricing a full reset lower. It was a market stepping back a little while still holding on to most of the rally. The next deadline is why that matters. AP said the ceasefire agreement is scheduled to expire on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That means the market is still leaving room for a deal. It is not trading like the worst-case path has already locked in. That surface calm is why the source pack turned to positioning. Nana's view was that the market is crowded enough to make a small dip feel more dangerous than it looks. That is source-attributed analysis, not exchange data, but it helps explain the tone of the session. Nana's framework put total leverage at 310% and net leverage at 75%, and it treated 6,860 on the S&P 500 as the key line to watch. Above that level, the market stays in a friendlier gamma regime. Below it, the warning is that volatility can rise much faster. Those numbers should be treated as Nana's analytical model, not as official market statistics. The next official macro checkpoint is Kevin Warsh's nomination hearing. The Senate Banking Committee says it is set for Tuesday, April 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern. Near highs, even a shift in tone can matter. Sunny's reading is that traders are listening for whether a Warsh-led framework would change the policy tone. The point is not that the answer is known yet. The point is that the market may use this hearing as its next reason to move. There is also a clear fundamental anchor in the middle of this story. ASML said first quarter net sales were 8.8 billion euros, net income was 2.8 billion euros, and basic earnings per share were 7.15 euros. The company also kept its 2026 sales outlook at 36 billion to 40 billion euros. ASML also said AI-related infrastructure demand continues to solidify. That lines up with the options play view that semiconductors and AI are still the main leadership group, even as money rotates into other pockets of the market. The company calendar matters too. Interactive Brokers says it plans to report first quarter results on Tuesday, April 21 at about 4 p.m. Eastern. Tesla says it will report after the close on Wednesday, April 22nd, with its webcast at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday morning also brings GE Vernova, which says it will release first quarter results before the open and hold its webcast at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And after the close on April 20th, AP reported that Tim Cook will step down as Apple CEO on September 1st, with John Ternus taking over, while Cook becomes executive chairman. So the first half of the watch list is straightforward. Watch oil against the Tuesday ceasefire deadline. Watch whether the S&P 500 holds above 7,100 and stays above Nana's 6860 risk line. And watch whether Warsh's hearing changes the policy tone. The second half of the watch list is corporate. Watch whether ASML, Tesla, Interactive Brokers, GE Vernova, and Apple keep the earnings and leadership story aligned with a resilient market tape. April 20 was not a breakdown day. It was a reminder that the market is near highs, but the next risk window is open. Full source links are in the description. This report is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice.